Now, something I want to draw your attention to here is the fact that we want the combat in Murdered to be very intentional. We want the player to understand the combat space, build a strategy, and execute on it. The demons are incredibly strong, and if you attack them head on, you will be defeated. So it's important to get behind them when they're unaware and rip them apart from the inside. This represents sort of the holistic design that we're taking with Murdered. Both in the case of investigation and exploration and combat, we want it to be very intentional, very thoughtful. We want the player to constantly be engaged in the game and always be thinking about their next decisions. It's that sort of consistency of design that we're going for. Now here, you see that on the street we use possession to solve crimes. But now we use it in combat. We can defeat demons by hiding within living targets. In addition to possession, the player can also use pass-through to get behind the enemies, and hopefully get advantage of them when they're not expecting it. One more ability I want to show here is something that we're calling teleport right now. It allows a player to silently sneak up behind enemies and then attack them when they least expect it. These three abilities are just the tip of the iceberg. When the product ships, there's going to be plenty of strategies for the player to use to build their own path through the combat spaces. A quick note about enemies: they used to be human ghosts who've been slowly corrupted by their dusk over many, many years. Their last instinct is the belief that devouring other human souls, they can regain their own humanity.
Damn it. My mom gave me that gun. And what the hell happening here?
Now on the street, I showed you how possession can be used in a special way to gain advantage where a regular detective wouldn't be able to gain headway into a case. The player can do more than that though. Here we have things called memory residues, and by revealing them, I actually bring a memory back into the investigation space. Now that it's here, I can investigate it and draw information from it. In this case, it's obviously the killer here, and he's looking for someone or something.
What is he looking for?
Okay, so let's continue on with the investigation. Over here to your left, what you're going to see is a baseball bat. If I investigate this,
I knew it.
it's interesting because this is clearly a metal bat, but it was bent, and it was done recently because it's part of the crime scene.
Damn, this guy's strong.
Alright, so now I'm going to make my way over and continue investigating the apartment. On the other side of this living room, I'll see a broken window. If I interact with this, It's clear that this was the window I was killed from.
Nice. All right. There we go.
I didn't stand a freaking chance.
We'll move into the bedroom now and continue the investigation. You'll see that there's another memory residue here, and if I reveal this one, I can see that there's a witness. Now, this witness is obviously watching the killer as he moves through the space. She's frightened, and so she's hiding from him, hoping he doesn't see her.
Bingo. Nice.
I can't believe there was a witness.
The case has just taken a turn, but I don't know where the witness went, so I need to keep investigating. If I move over here, I'll see a bulletin board, and if I interact with a photo on it, I'll get a psychic imprint from it, and this will give me new insight.
Father, do you have anywhere that I could stay just for a little while?
Oh, of course, dear. The church is always your to help. I think we have an old attic you can stay in, for as long as you like.
The church isn't too far away. Should be enough evidence to put this together now.
So now I have all the critical pieces of information. So let's complete this deduction. Now, on the street, I was asked to put the pieces together. But in this version of the deduction, I actually have to put the pieces of information in chronological order. In this instance, the eyewitness was here first, at which point the killer showed up. Ronan arrived, confronted him, but was overpowered and thrown out of the window.
I knew it.
Turn around. You're under arrest. Gunned me down in the street, and you didn't even check for witnesses. Like you're untouchable. That girl is my only lead. I need to find her.
By piecing this all together, I now know where the witness fled. I need to chase her through this window. Hopefully I can still catch up with her, find her at the church, and maybe she'll lead me to my killer so I can bring him to justice. What you just saw was the beginning of a very robust and very interesting supernatural detective thriller that we think is both incredibly rich.
I've come face to face with death more times than I can count. As a Salem PD detective, it's my job to catch killers. But in all my years on the force, I never saw this case coming.
Ronan O'Connor is a homicide detective with a criminal past.
Guilty on 2 counts of grand theft auto.
On the indictment of burglary.
Grand larceny and assault with a deadly weapon.
But just when he'd started turning things around, he lost everything, including his life. But none of us can move on to the next world until we finish what we need to in this world.
You're here to resolve something. You don't resolve it, you don't leave.
In Salem, a town with a dark history, there's a killer on the loose. He's killed before, and he'll kill again.
This crude drawing of a bell has been left at the scene of several murders.
Leading police to refer to the murderer as the Bell Killer.
Ronan couldn't stop him in life. But in death, he's got a second chance. Hidden somewhere is a trail that leads to his killer. He just has to find it. Ronan has lost the ability to question witnesses, interrogate suspects, and interact with the physical world. But he's gained abilities that are even more valuable.
Your strengths in life are stronger in death. They become powers here.
Ronan's death gives him the ability to pass through walls, a freedom that quickens his search for the killer. But not everything is open to Ronan. Dusk objects, echoes of tragic events which leave powerful, everlasting imprints, cannot be passed through. Hidden in this purgatorial world are hundreds of clues about Salem, its history, and its people. Some of the deceased remain trapped as well, and each has a story to tell.
I can't remember what happened to me.
Combining everything he finds here is the only way Ronan can uncover the full mysteries of Salem. But not all spirits in the Dusk world can help. Some will stand in his way. Demons will devour any soul they can. Evade them at all costs. But if you can't, then eliminate them. Not all among the living are blind to the Dusk or Ronan.
You can see me? You're a medium.
Gaining the trust of a partner from the living world would be an invaluable asset for Ronan.
My mother has been missing for a few days. I know the Bell Killer had something to do with her disappearance.
But he must use this advantage to find his killer quickly, as time is running out. Ronan will need to use the skills he honed in life and the abilities he gained in death to put an end to the killing. He can possess any living being and hear their inner private thoughts.
How can one guy do this?
See through their eyes to reveal vital clues and influence their actions. Progressing deeper into his journey, Ronan will acquire new and more powerful abilities. Abilities that will help him traverse and survive the Dusk world to bring him closer to the truth about his murder. Why him? Why that night? Was he just in the wrong place at the wrong time? Or was there something more at work? There are clues that have been left in the bloody wake of the Bell Killer. Like any good detective, Ronan must gather evidence and establish what is relevant. To aid him, he can utilize a new ability he gained in death, the power to see and hear past events. By piecing these clues together, he can reveal hidden truths. But the answers Ronan finds only lead to more questions. As the killer's trail spreads, a bizarre mystery is beginning to unfold. Something sinister is at work. But how many more will die before Ronan can stop it?